We are back, episode 2, Flag on the Culture, man. Aaron, how you
Back
doing,
at it.
man?
Back at it. Flag on the culture. Nest, how you doing, man? I'm good, man. Good to see you.
Man, blessed to see another one. Um, glad, glad that I'm here, man, and ready to inform people and inspire and share some good stuff, man. Some good stuff. So, before we get into it, man, I want to share things that we got going on. So, like I said, I'm out here in the San Gabriel Valley area. Have DB training Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. You guys make sure to reach out, DM to get that information and location. If you guys are not in the DB membership, you're playing yourself, okay? We have a DB membership. We have a 3-tier. If you're not local, we have all digital where you can train all the drills that I do with my guys, helping them out, get where they need to get to, making plays. You can do all that stuff all virtually, okay? And then we also have DB membership, which is hybrid, right? So you're in-person training, group training, as well as the virtual component of it. And then we have a 3rd tier, which is those people who are truly serious, who want to take their game to the next level, get financial literacy, as well as NIL. All these information. So that's in there. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll make sure to put a link down where you guys can get those things, as well as, we have digital products talking about recruiting, press man, all these things. But I'll make sure you guys connect with that. And man, what's some information you want to share for the people?
Man, I'm in Southern Utah, St. George. Like I said in our first video, in our first segment, about an hour and 45 minutes behind Las Vegas. My biggest thing is my business is called Not Easily Broken Fitness. Very much so inspired by Austin Lacey. You know Austin Lacey. My best friend grew up, died of cancer. I consider him my brother. But man, I just took that name, and honestly, man, it means a lot with the name in itself, Not Easily Broken. So with the Not Easily Broken program, one thing that I established here in Southern Utah, where the biggest thing that I was bringing here was development, developing kids through sports, inspiring kids, as well as my special needs kids that I work with, along with my homeschool kids as well. So pretty much, I'm a teacher. I'm an academy without the facility at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But I pretty much specialize in sports training, all sports training, development, functional movement, functional training here in Southern Utah.
I bet, man, bet. So, bro, let's get into this tonight, man. We're gonna get into some topics, talking about the draft, talking about some other things that's happening. But before we get into all the other stuff, bro, let's talk about Jordan Travis, man. A lot of people probably forgotten his name, but for those who have forgotten, so Jordan Travis, he is the young man who was the quarterback for Florida State when they went undefeated. Unfortunately, he got hurt the game before the ACC championship, and he broke his leg. Now, it hurts because he just announced his retirement today, and this is my thoughts about it. And it's very unfortunate because this man, he did a lot for Florida State, but this just shows you how college football works, how the NFL works. So they went undefeated at Florida State, and they won the ACC game. It wasn't a good win, but they won. The college football committee decided because their quarterback was not playing that they wasn't deserving to be in the playoffs. So you telling me all the work that he did and his teammates did, they wasn't deserving, which is a whole nother topic as far as that, and we'll talk about it another day. So, he broke his leg essentially for nothing because they didn't go to playoffs, and it's very unfortunate. Then he gets drafted in the 5th round to the Jets, which is a blessing, right? He's not able to play, and he never had a chance to play. He never played it down in the NFL. And reading more into it, he actually was being rushed by the Jets training
Staff
to recover, and it actually had a severe setback where they had to completely shut him down. And this is very disturbing, not as far as me as athletes, because we understand this though. I don't think the fans necessarily understand that, you know, the teams for the most part don't have the best interest for the players and their health. Um, and it's quite known that if you're not able to play, the NFL will just pay you out and just release you. They'll give you a certain amount of money. I've known plenty of guys who, after they got hurt and bounced back, came to the Arena League. So this is very unfortunate because this young man, sacrificed, played, and of course, it's all because he loves the game, and we understand there's injuries that's part of it. But for this man, nothing to show for it as far as his team achievement of going undefeated, and then him getting drafted and never playing it down because of the stress of the team's organization trying to force him to get back on the field as soon as possible, that he just stepped away. This just shows that, you know, people need to understand as an athlete, it's not always what y'all think it is. Always getting paid this good money. Now I hope Florida State does right by them, by him, and they don't have to, but hopefully they hire him in some capacity where he has some type of money, because it's just very unfortunate. You see a young man who had full potential who now has to retire, and he was that close from living his dreams. Yes, he got drafted, but he never played. Bro, what's your thoughts about this, man?
Man, I think being in those situations, you kind of gotta. Can you see me?
Yep.
Yeah, I think being in those situations, you kind of gotta. You gotta. It's hard, man. It's hard being in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Because then you realize, for me, and not to sound so vulgar or anything like that, I feel like it's a pimp and a hoe type relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't do anything for me, we can't do anything for you, or we'll figure out the best way to get rid of you, the quickest way to get rid of you. Um, like I said, similar to the analogy I use. So it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate that he had to that those it's unfortunate that it fell in his direction as far as that, you know what I'm saying? But this is a wake up call for a lot of us as athletes, a lot of us who have stepped out of football, a lot of us who have now um, became trainers, and a lot of us who have, this is a focal point in things that we doing. If we have platforms, you know what I'm saying, to inspire these people, to get these people to, understand that, it's a game, and you got to understand how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? And even with the way the game played, I think he made the best decision for him, his family, his life, and with all the curveballs that was thrown at him. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to retire?
Yeah, it was actually suggested by different doctors for him to step away. So that just tells you the severity of the injury itself. Um,
Yeah.
and at some capacity, I hope he's able to come to peace with it, and because it's very hard, man. And this is why I advocate for kids so much in college, man. Y'all get paid, man. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, man. Y'all get paid for sure. So
Yeah, and that also I think that leads to our next topic with how do you think he's now gonna transition moving forward without the game? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you think now he's literally on a day-to-day basis where he's thinking about maybe 10 years back, 5 years back, coulda, shoulda, woulda situations. Um, how do you think his transition out of football is going to be? And it's a broad opinion. You know what I'm saying? We just asked you for just how you think, with not even knowing the guy, but just with knowing guys that have had situations similar to his, you know what I'm saying, but other occurrences, of course.
I don't know Jordan personally, but hopefully he has a strong foundation that he can lean on. And this is not even just for him. This is for all of us. And I kind of share my transition out of football. But when you get injured, you kind of know. You kind of know, like, you start having some things back in the back of your mind, like, what if I'm not able to play again? So you kind of creep in there. I think it's harder for guys who have been playing, and it's like instantly like, hey, I got to shut it down. I think it's tough. I think it's tough for football players. I think it's tough for athletes in general. And I don't think it's tough for high school players as much because they have time. Like, the amount of guys on a high school team going to play college football, it's not a high number. But my teammates who I played college with, guys I played professional football with in Arena League, I talked to them today. It's still hard making that transition. And um, one of my teammates, I recently had him on my podcast. If y'all haven't checked it out, Everything Uncovered, make sure y'all check it out. But he's a school teacher now, but the transition is still not an easy one. And I'll say it like this. I'll give this analogy. So as a football player, we're essentially like soldiers, right? As far as we take the orders, we don't necessarily dictate our own schedule. Everything is in place for us. And then when you retire, you essentially become the general of your life. Like, you get to determine what time you're gonna get up. But the thing is, you've been programmed, everything's been set up for you. So now just imagine if you play college football and then you play professional, you never have to book a flight ticket on your own. You don't necessarily have to do your own luggage. They do all that stuff for you. You don't have to book a hotel. You necessarily don't have to do your laundry at the facility. They do all that stuff for you. And you think these are little things, but these are major things because it's players who actually struggle with this stuff. Like, bro, I had to go buy a ticket. Like, it was so stressful. And you like, how you don't know that? But it's been done for you for 5, 7, 6 years where
Yeah,
you
you're
actually don't
immune
even,
to it.
yeah, you don't even think about it. You like, it's just done. I'm just going here and I'm playing this game that I love. And then at the same time, even though we playing arena football, we playing college football, your name is known. It's a buzz about you. And honestly, that's a high that only certain people can. If you've been in it, you understand it. And then for it to completely be gone and people see you on the street like, bro, what you doing here? It's kind of like, bro, you feel sad. Like, bro, we actually know somebody from the city who has done great things, went off to college, and they feel like their career didn't turn out the same, for the best. They actually had to leave. They actually had to move out and start over at another city. And it's a lot of people, they don't understand the struggle of doing something your whole life and then it just be over with and you got to transition into everyday life. It's very tough. And it's like, kind of like, if I could put it in these words, these terms, it's kind of like you got to get rehabilitated from somebody getting from, like, coming from prison, because your whole mindset has to change now. Like, I got to adapt to this world. Like, as an athlete, you really are not living by the same rules as everybody else. And once you got to adapt to that, bro, everybody can't adapt to that right away.
Nah, you're
And
100%. You're
it's tough.
100%.
It's tough, man. But
Yeah,
what's your thoughts, bro, about transitioning outside of football?
well, my personal story, like with my situation, like I coming out 2019, I was a COVID guy. You get what I'm saying? So I did everything I can in the midst of the world being shut down.
Mm-hmm.
They shut down workouts, they shut down pro days, they shut down everything for me to get to the journey that I wanted to get to, that I've worked to for my whole entire life. Um, Now, for me, my older brother always told me to keep it real with myself before I keep it real with anybody else. So I've always, not always, but like as I've grew older, I've had an understanding that if you do it the right way, you're gonna get the right results.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it the wrong way, you're not gonna get the results that you seeking for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with my transition out, there was a point in time where I stopped because I allowed the outside noise to have an effect on my next move. Signed a contract to play in the CFL, um, and they shut the CFL down. So I wasn't the type of dude that was like trying to bang somebody door down to play. You know what I'm saying? Because my goals was to win a championship, um, go to college, and fall on that NFL star if I was able to. You know what I'm saying? So just transitioning out of football for me was more so like it's over with. My time physically is over with. Um, there was a point in time where I was wanting to play, where I was doing like small pickup games and adult leagues and stuff, and just testing my mental. Like you still got it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But truth be told, those were keeping me in shape for when those opportunities did come because I was doing that, and I ended up getting an opportunity to Germany.
Yeah.
Um, I was only there for about a month and a half, if that. But ended up shutting down COVID as well. So after twice it happened, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just give it back to the kids how it was given to me. So then that way, even if I do go, I got a fan base.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a fan base. So I'm gonna do my best to try to go to a team that's close to St. George, Utah. You know what I'm saying? Or try to get somewhere where I can still train, give back, but also really inspire these kids by allowing them to see me play on this field. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my transition out of football, I can't necessarily say I've had the same experience as a lot of other people, bro, because I've gave everything that I could give to the game. From I gave everything that I could give. I didn't went the wrong way. I didn't came back and went the right way. Seeing that the right way you can win championships, you can
Yeah.
break records. I stopped again when COVID came. So my transition out of football, I blame my career of not furthering on myself. Like I don't think it's a lot of people that could do that, but I blame my
Mm-hmm.
career. But I also have a lot of accomplishments. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I got a lot of accomplishments that I can like hold close to my heart to where I'm like, all right, man, you good. Like, man, just give
Mm-hmm.
it to somebody else now. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
won a championship. You broke the record. You got the record for interceptions. You got the record for yards. I mean the most yards after interception catches. Um, you did your best to get to the level you wanted to. You shot for the star and you landed on the moon. So that's just how I look at my transition out of football. You know what I'm saying? I took myself out of the game once I didn't play like my players coach contract I signed and I wasn't able to officially go play.
Mm-hmm.
I took myself out of the game and said I'm gonna just give it back. So if you don't take yourself out of the game uh, after you transition, it's gonna bother you a lot when you're coaching these kids. It's gonna bother you a lot if you think you're gonna develop these kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to develop kids with you still having the same passion that you had when you put the cleats on and understanding that it's a different passion when you don't have the cleats on.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that passion just because of guys like yourself, Drew Pearson, Team D1. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who I was kind of I had a nice little village. You know what I'm saying? I had a nice little village of growing up. And then when I branched out, I was literally able to see everything vividly here in
Mm-hmm.
St. George. I was able to like see everything, how I grew up, the mistakes that I made, this, that, and the other. So once I seen it, I put everything on myself, chunked it up. Now it's time to give it back. So my transition out of football, I would say I'm thankful for the work that I put in, and it hasn't been nothing but greatness because I've been developing kids. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching kids how to go from nonverbal to verbal,
Yeah.
spectrum kids and things like that. So I'm serving more of a purpose outside of football than I did in football.
Mm-hmm. Nah, man. So you kind of hit on it, bro. I wanna talk about this topic, bro. So you talk about your accomplishments that you did at Dixie State, now Utah Tech, um, because what year was that? What year was that when we connected again? Was that 18?
2016,
16?
16, 17, because that was the
Okay.
year I was back to I had to go back and get my associates, then come back up.
Okay. So I'm back in town, and he was like, I'm like, hey bro, I'm training. He was like, Ness, I'm with you. And we was getting after it, whatnot. And bro, your senior year, bro, you had a historical career. You talked about the stats, and I'll let you go over the stats again, but you got the record still at Utah Tech, bro. It was amazing, bro. Like every week, bro, it seemed like you was getting interceptions. You had, was it 8 in a season?
12 and had 7, 12 on film.
Yeah,
You know, they count them flags that I don't think was flags, but we gonna go and give it to them. So it took like 4 off, I think 4 or 5 off. So I got 7 in one season.
yeah,
But
which
on
is
film,
the
I got
record.
12 in one season.
See, that's absurd. A lot of people don't even have that in their career, and you did that in one season, on top of the most yardage after the interception, bro. So how was that, bro? Training with me and that transition, and then seeing like that senior year go off for you, bro. How was that?
Oh man, I came backpedaling so fast to California. I might have got to California in 3 hours as fast as I was backpedaling being away from you, man. Man, I just really came back, bro, and you honed in on shit. You took me all the way back to youth. You took me back to how to, why, uh, and this is why if this happens, just gave me the main telltale signs of what I need to hone in and focus on. And I think we never went away from that, bro. Like in training, we never went away from that, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was. You know what, bro? I'm gonna give it to you. It was really it was. I think it was both of our efforts, bro. It was really both of our efforts because it was times where it was me and you, and we understood what we was talking about. But then it was times where we did one-on-ones, and you like, oh, you need to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were saying. And I'm like, so like the time with Coach C when he brought that guy from the New York Jets.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? It was just so it was everything was aligning for me to have the season that I had. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And with me not even like this is one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, man. If y'all got a trainer, hone in on the trainer and learn what the trainer is teaching. One trainer. You can go to everybody else once you've learned one trainer. Once you've learned one trainer and you learn, not even learned him, I'm not going to say learned him. Once he's taught you the correct way, the correct DB way to, or whatever position you play, on how to do these things, then you can branch out and see, okay, let me take this coach Ike to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I went out there and was oh my goodness. The patience was out of this world. I was guarding guys like Victor Blackwell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, uh, Makai Copes, who went to Utah, just transferred to Sacramento State. Clark Phillips was out there for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Um, man, it was dogs, bro. So it really ultimately just prepared me for just slowing the game down, bro. That's literally how you prepared me. Like you just slow the game down for me in so many different ways that I've never seen prior to that I seen, but really didn't get to break it down because, like I said, I had a coach that just came from Utah State and I mean Oregon State. I think Oregon State, I believe. He just came from Oregon State, but he was like a quality control coach. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So a quality control coach, if you guys don't know, he kind of in everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? He like helping the head coach. He helping the offensive coordinator one day. He helping the defensive coordinator. He helping special teams. He helping wherever needs leverage. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? He might be the first one to get fired type deal. You know, but just how you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, not discrediting his position or anything like that. It's just low key the bottom of the totem pole. You know,
Yep.
you like almost a graduate assistant. So he gets the job here, but his previous position, bro, he went to the NFL as a running back. So he comes
Mm-hmm.
over here and necessarily didn't understand how to teach the technique. So me, oh man, I became a wizard. I said, you know what? Let me write everything down that he's saying. And this summer, I'm going back home. I'm taking it straight to Ness. I'm taking it straight to Ness. What technique y'all play? Oh, I call it a pure step, kick step. Oh, okay, I know exactly what you're doing. So this is how you do this. This is how you got to be super patient with the step. Now it took me as this is me speaking. Like this is me speaking as you. You said as me. It took me a long time to get it. It took me a long time to understand it. But once I got it, it was over and it worked. So I just knew when you was teaching me like that, all I had to do was hone in on the technique and get the
Yep.
understanding, bro. And that, man, took off like a rocket ship.
Yep.
Took off like a rocket ship. Like I can literally say that year I did not have another coach. I mean, another trainer. I didn't have another trainer training me with where I wanted to go. I had goals, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I knew who to go
Mm-hmm.
to for I knew who to go to for the technique. I knew who to go to slow the game down. I knew who voice that I wanted to hear when everything got all over the place. Like if y'all do train with Ness, which I know I pray everybody do get the opportunity to get some of that coach Ike. He gonna slow it down for you, and might have a coach that's loud. You might have a stadium that's loud. You gonna hear that voice in your ear. You gonna hear that voice in your ear. Slow down, bro. Slow down.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the best voices that I could apply to me when I was playing because I couldn't apply the same teachings that I just personally felt like in spring ball I was getting 8, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not spring ball. I think it was fall or summer or something like that. I was just getting 8. Then I came back with a different mindset after I learned patience and stuff like that. So, man, you pretty much you developed the product and you finished the product off.
Nah, that what you said something, bro, because a lot of and I say this all the time. And I repeat myself to everybody. And they be like, I'm like, y'all understand? And coach be like, yeah, I understand. I'm like, I know y'all don't. And I said, you know how I know y'all don't? Because I didn't understand. So that's why I keep repeating myself. If I learned this when I first heard it, then I would have been good. But it took me 20 years to realize, like, I had to answer the whole time. I had the information to the test the whole time. I just never applied it. I didn't understand it. And I say it like this: when you can understand it and you can teach it to other people, that's when you truly understand it and you can go and implement it. But a lot of people, we got so much information as DBs in whatever field we in, we got so much information that we can't apply it still. Man, make
Mhm.
sure you understand what you're learning, then apply it, then learn some more information. Don't get, oh, I got to keep learning this. What's going to happen? You're going to have too many voices, too many things, and you won't be able to implement anything. Do one thing at a time, man. But yeah, bro, that's how it was, bro. And you went to work, bro, and you took off, bro. You took off, man, for sure,
Lit it up from light it up. Light
man,
it up
bro.
gave me that light.
Hey, we was out in that hot sun at Jackie Robinson, bro. This is no gear. This is no nothing. This is just starting out, just training, bro. And bro, it's been because of you testimonies, bro, and stuff like that. Continue to help kids and you feel me? Give on to the next, bro, and continue to pass on that light, bro. And now you doing it, so that's a blessing there today. Shoot, you taking that same wisdom that you did and applying it to the kids you now training. So that's what it's all about, bro.
Man, it's only right, man. It's only right. I felt like I had some great teachers, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I felt like the people who taught me had greater teachers, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got to learn from somebody, and that's just what it is, bro. If you got to learn from somebody.
Yep.
I'm in a dynamic, bro, where Don't nobody want to learn from nobody. Everybody want this to be theirs. Everybody wants this to be mine. Everybody wants to take the credit for this. Everybody wants to take the credit for that. It's high school coaches up here, bro, who feel like just because he coached kids out of high school and they go to college and now they in the league, he can live off their name. I said, what in the world? And you people will go on and believe that. Like, I could pretty much know nothing, but everybody around me knows something. But y'all gonna believe that I know just as much as the people around me.
Yep.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you teaching these kids? What are you teaching these kids? That's a situation where, like, oh, if you the smartest person in your group, then you need to get out.
Hey, so let's talk about that, man. So I wanted to say it for another time, but you brought it up. I wanna hit on this. So first of all, I want to get your definition of what is development to you. What is it to you?
Development is from head to toe.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. If you're in sports, I feel like development has to do with teaching,
Mm-hmm.
breakdown, telltale signs, IQ, developing this child, developing this athlete to have more understanding and how to be a better athlete within this realm that they're in. Um, Along with the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So my development, my understanding of development is hard work, um, grit, patience, patience with learning, patience with
Mm-hmm.
understanding, um, care and concern, care and
Yeah.
concern, care and concern. Man, you really gotta care. Take yourself out the game. I just said that. Take yourself out the game. Take yourself out the game. You're gonna have a lot of care and concern, and you're going to be able to develop. If you get a kid, if you get a 5-star kid, we got a 5-star kid out here. So they got a 5-star here in town, St. George, Utah, and I think he only 5-star because of rankings, and he's a 6 something. He's his size.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he'll go in the game and the tank it,
Yeah.
and it bothers me that you you got 5 stars, but you're not developed. So what you think gonna happen when you get to college? That size ain't gonna get you too many places if you aren't developed. I don't care about you playing for none of these bowls, none of these bowl games, none of that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not fully developed, if you're not fully developed, do you understand coverages? Do you understand how to track the ball while it's in the air? Do you understand how to do you understand audibles? Do you understand how to go at defenses? Do you understand how to go at offenses? Just just all that is development in one. And for me, I'm in the sports realm, so football. I'm in the football realm here. A lot of football clients. Man, my clients can tell you got to watch film just how we did.
Mm-hmm.
X-ray machine, watch it from the top to the bottom, scan. You develop the kid.
Yep.
You'll get another kid from out here that trained with somebody else that he can't even tell you what 11 personnel is.
Yep.
So development to me is why are you taking these people money if you can't even tell these kids what 11 personnel is?
Yeah, buddy.
And the
Yeah,
parents
buddy.
can't see that. The parents just see what? Oh, he's friends of an NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way to keep my kid inspired.
Yeah.
Y'all got another thing coming.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
got another thing coming. So development to me is the full circle athlete, the full circle human being.
Yeah.
What you
So
think from elaborate on that a little bit? What do you think? What do you think? What is development to you? What do you think of development? And you can go from any aspect, any area. What is development to you?
so I'm just gonna keep it on football, as an athlete, but mainly football. So development to me, just to keep it plain and simple, is that athlete from the time he starts working with somebody, did it get sped up to where he's not where he needs to be, so there's a natural progression, and this kind of goes into our next topic. But there's a natural progression if you continue to play football. You're going to get better over time with more reps. So development is if you can speed that up prior to his natural progression. So if a kid who's been playing full Pop Warner sports and then he gets to high school, you be like, oh, your senior year, you're gonna be the man. Well, what if I can make you the man or you be close to the man your sophomore year? That's what I think development is. And I agree with you. That includes physically, mentally, you able to understand football IQ and able to speed that up. And so when people are talking about, oh, I put this person in NFL, it's like, yeah, you coached them, but did you really do anything? Because after that person went to NFL, why nobody else went to NFL? And we
After
know,
them.
yeah, we know there's certain situations that gotta line up right. So I'm not putting it on, but somebody should be close to that same lane. Like if you really developing people, you should have multiple people. And this is kind of going to our next topic because you can kind of explain it to me because I've never been part of 7-on-7. And I only did 7-on-7 when I was in high school. Since I've been in high school, 7-on-7 has popped up. It's the AAU of football. And I know you in that world. Can you tell me, bro, do you think 7-on-7 is worth it, man? For the kids. I'm just talking about for the kids.
7-on-7 is definitely worth it. There's a dead period, and there's a dead period for like 4 or 5 months where a kid can't even talk to his head coach. He can't even work out with his head coach. Just imagine the less fortunate kids that don't have trainers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're not even going on, we're not even talking about development. We're just talking about reps. Just imagine a kid that ends the season and don't play another sport. Let's say we only got a one sport athlete and he loves football. He's a dog, he's good at football. How does 7-on-7 develop him? 7-on-7 develops him because now you have to be a part of the right organization. You have to be a part of the right coaching staff. You have to be a part of the right 7-on-7 group for the simple fact of learning, reps, development. So is 7-on-7 worth it? Yes. To me, yes. 7-on-7 is very much so worth it. It gives you a longer time to prepare. It gives you a longer time in the off season. And now, don't get me wrong. If you only playing 7-on-7, you're not training, you're not doing nothing else. Good luck. Good luck to when you get in the regular season on third game, you might get hurt. And it just might. You're not, your body and your mind is not, you don't have no muscle memory. You only got a muscle memory of getting up, going to run routes, and not even running them the correct way. So number one, those are the like it's pros and cons to 7-on-7, but it's a lot more pros to me than cons for the simple fact that more is better. You can always get better getting more reps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can always get better getting more reps. Now, are you getting quality reps? I'm speaking from a perspective of a kid being on my team.
Yep.
I'm speaking from the perspective of a kid being on my team. So is it beneficial? Is it worth it? Yes, very much so. It's worth it. Why? Because my kids are going to develop. My kids are going to learn defenses that my kids are going to learn how to read offensive packages. A three wide receiver set when you got quads left and a one wide receiver on the right, or if you got a double formation and they motion the trips. You get what I'm saying? It looks totally
Mm-hmm.
different in 7-on-7 when you analyze that than if you have not played 7-on-7 and then you got 11 guys in front of you. Do you know if somebody go in motion, how many guys you're gonna be looking at?
Yep.
You know how many guys you're gonna lose in motion. You know how many clipboards your coach gonna buy that year and break just
Mm-hmm.
because of your lack of focus. So, man, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I think it's very much so worth it. But it's worth it in a quality program. I'll just say that it's worth it in a quality program. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that. And truth be told, I've been in 7-on-7 since I've been playing football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flag was 7-on-7. Mills started 7-on-7.
Yep.
High
Yep.
school started. We had some of the best tournaments going, bro. I was a freshman playing with y'all,
Mm-hmm.
getting tore up, but I got the understanding of what sets. Man, these guys is fast. I got to move a little quicker. Or just being out there getting more reps allowed me to be bro. I ended up being a varsity quarterback my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
They put the smartest kids on the. I'm not putting no dummy at quarterback.
Yep.
Straight out. So 707 definitely helped develop me. I think it's helping develop the team that I have. I think I'm giving them a broader insight on what football is rather than just basic slants, outs. You get what I'm saying? Basic things like that. Defenses. We running a whole different defense than anybody in St. George.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just upon the kids to execute. So yeah, I think it's worth it, bro. I honestly think it's worth it. I think it can it definitely has its pros and cons. But for me, I'm like you said, I'm involved in it. I think there are a lot of pros for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Especially being, let's say, fifth to fourth to seventh grade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Perfect year, perfect development year. I personally would sign my kid up for 7-on-7 and not play tackle. And
I like that. I like
that's
that.
just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? So how would you throw like what would like you think 7-on-7 is worth it? And yeah, you think 7-on-7 is worth it? I'm not even gonna specify, but because you in California, bro, so it's a lot of props, uh sellies. Like it's a lot of stuff, going on, and that's a lot of tournaments. That's all worldwide, but I see a lot of that going on down there. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think about 7-on-7? You think 7-on-7 is worth it, Coach Ike?
Man, it's a lot to unpack, man. It's a lot to unpack with this. So when it's done right, yes. But I don't think it's done right a lot. And so the kids that I've trained and they come back to me, everybody develop bad habits, all of them. And that's what I don't like about 707 is you develop some bad habits, especially the quarterbacks. They especially, and that's not my position, but I can like they got bad habits and then they do it in the season and you realizing why you getting picked off because you staring down the receiver. So at the same time, it creates bad habits. And then I ask the kids because I think I try not to be biased. I want to know, I want to gather information. So I asked the kids that I've trained, and they've done it for 5 years. And I said, man, what did y'all get from it? They said, honestly, we was just doing it to be with friends. It was just something else to do. I'm like, did you learn anything? No. I said, why did you do it? Just to be out there so I wouldn't be bored. So I was thinking, you have kids out there who literally just having fun. They not learning nothing. And that's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, you only got one body, no two. And you beating yourself up every weekend to
For
play,
fun. For
yeah,
fun.
for fun, and you only got one body to maximize. And
USP.
you can be playing another, you can go ahead and play another sport, but you're on 707. You can be running track to get faster. You can be training. You can do whatever else you want, but you doing 707. And then another reason why I don't think it's realistic. And the reason why it's not realistic because everything is about winning. It's not about development. So I've seen it. Coaches are trying to win so much where they're trying to implement a defense or offense they've never ran in practice, but will get upset at the kids for not understanding and winning the game. Now I'm all about competition. I love competition. Believe you should be competing all the time. It's unfair to put kids in a situation where you spring something on them for the very first time and expect them to execute it at a high level. You setting up the kids up for failure. And
Yeah, I'm
that's
glad you said
another
that.
reason. Huh?
I'm glad you said that. I just had to realize that from this weekend that as bad as I wanted to win and as many kids missed, I had to understand that this is the development phase, and I don't need to, you know what I'm saying? But during your development phase, let me ask you this: during your development phase of 7-on-7 or anything like that, what if the kid is not listening?
You don't play. Don't play. It's simple.
But you develop, do you get what? And now are you trying to win, or are you trying to develop the kid?
I'm trying to develop. I don't. That's the thing. The thing is not about winning, because see, they say winning fix all. It don't. All it do is mask what's not right. It masks what's not right, because when you go off to the next spot, prime example, the cornerback who went to Colorado, he was a high commit. Deion Sanders and them, he didn't play. He started getting on. I forgot his name, Cromartie or something like that. Whatever his name.
The corner, Cormani
yeah,
McLean.
yeah. He at Florida now. He had all these bad habits, and nobody spoke up to him. I don't know who's coaching. I have no idea. Regardless of talent or not, I'm pretty sure he was probably in 707. And coach is like, bro, if you ain't doing something, you're going to sit out. Nobody ever did that to him. So now he go off to high school, he do the same stuff. He go off to college, you're not doing none of that. It's an issue. I'm pretty sure he was winning. That's why he was a top recruit. But now you had to go leave. Now he's at another situation. He at Florida. They said he was doing the same things at Colorado. Now he's turning it around. What if somebody told him when it first happened, when he was developing? We wouldn't have the issue.
Right.
How much better would he be as a whole complete player rather than learning it late? See, we hurting these kids because we want to win so bad. You're not developing these kids, you hurting them. And they think, and that's another reason why 707, it creates an ego or pride about a kid. Because I've seen it. Kids they be all world in 707. You put the pads on, they disappear.
Turtle. They get right into the shell. The master of disguise.
Gone. So we give false confidence to some kids who really not like that on the football field, and like, oh man, you this and you that. And then when they get on the football field, that's why when I did coach, everybody, I didn't know there was no superstars. Everybody was treated the same. Everybody was coached the same, from the top guy to the low guy. And when you hold everybody on the same standard, and now I would ask kids, what do you want to get out of this? And if a kid told me like, coach, I don't care about playing D1, I just, want to, hey, I'm not going to hold them to a certain standard. I will never hold a kid to a certain standard when it comes to that. But when it comes to performing on my team as a DB, we gotta
something you gotta stamp.
Yeah, so we gotta act a certain standard. But if you want to go at the highest level, I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna have certain conversations I'm not gonna have with a kid that don't want to go to the next level. Like, I'm gonna point out some stuff like, hey bro, I see you loafing on this play. The other kid, I'm like, hey bro, I need you to pick it up. That's not the energy we need. I'm like, hey, you loafing over here. The scouts is looking at that. You need to pick it up. You told me you want this and that. Let's get on it.
Man, I'm telling you, I just had a conversation with one of these kids out here, man. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Nah, yeah. So that's my whole thing with 707, bro. If it's done right, man, but for the most part, it's not done right. And then the last thing, and I'm sorry to say, there is no accountability as far as kids is just bouncing from team to team. At least out here, I've seen kids start on one team and then go play on another team. I actually know a guy who he trained receivers. He started his own team. He said he had to get done with it because kids is not showing up but playing on another team. Bro, I'm not about to do that and play with these kids, man. So that's why I don't think it's worth it if it's not done correctly. If it's done correctly, which is far and few, but when it's done correctly, you're gonna be able to tell the difference, though. I can't see.
Now I would just last thing I would. So for me, with the lack of 7-on-7 in our area, I'm not preaching loyalty. I'm not preaching that. Go play for 4 and 5 teams. We live in a small bubble. If you don't get outside of this bubble, you're gonna stay right here.
Yep.
So that's what I preach to them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's California where you could go on a team and y'all all good. Yep. And if you don't make the team, now you're gonna bounce around the team to team. No, you get what I'm saying? So out here it's not necessarily like that, but then it is a lot of ass kissing out here too. You know what I'm saying? Where for instance, a coach will get a job somewhere and has a 7-on-7 organization, and a parent will feel like they got to take their kid over to the 7-on-7 organization because he's at the high school now. I'm like, you don't have to necessarily do that. Put your kid to work, give your kid a better understanding of hard work, bring them back to the program. You get what I'm saying? If he was taken out or if he hasn't been here, he or she, bring them back and let them understand what hard work is. Because
Yep.
one thing that I don't like as a trainer is where you take your kid out of my program and then you turn around and say, hey, my kid has been struggling as long as they've been out of the program. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. It's like you said. It's pros and cons to 7-on-7 if it's done the right way, and it's pros and cons to just understanding what football is. You know what I'm saying? Understanding what it is. Here I got to plug and play. Why? Because it's a lack in this area. Down in
Mm-hmm.
California, I think you get with a team, you stay with a team. You know what I'm saying? So it's different in every area. I think in Las Vegas, you stay with a team. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I feel like these kids in this area, bro, I had a 7-on-7 team and nobody else had one. Like they were just getting one started. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
like 4 or 5 7-on-7 teams, and parents politic on if they want to go here or if they want to go there. Fine, totally fine. Parents, some of y'all ain't never played football. So your kid, if you thinking he having fun, you damn right. He doing the same thing he doing at recess with his friends that he doing that on that team.
Yep.
They having recess, throwing the ball around, just having playing fun. So, like we said, development is the biggest thing, bro, and it's worth it if you're in the right organization. That's just what it is right there.
Nah, facts, facts. So, bro, we just witnessed this NFL draft, this past NFL draft. Um, I have many thoughts about it, bro. So, uh, what's your thoughts about this, bro? Though.
All right, number one, I'm gonna talk about what's relevant, what's
Yep.
trending, the trending topic.
Mm-hmm.
NFL did their thing. Ratings went up, skyrocketed out the roof. I ain't never watched the draft that long myself, along with other people. I've never watched the draft to the fourth round. I think one year, I think I did one year, but I didn't watch it until the fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
We knew he was going third day, maybe. You feel what I'm saying? And I was hoping to see that something and hoping to, man, that's what it was. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But this year it was totally different. It was you're not bigger than the program. You'll never be bigger than the program. We don't know who you think you are, but we're gonna show you that you're not bigger than the program. We don't care how much you got. We don't. Matter of fact, that showed you they didn't care how much he got. He almost didn't get nothing.
Yep.
I don't. You get. I think he still got to work for a contract, right?
No, he get his little signing bonus, but it ain't nothing compared to if he was in the first round.
Right. So my biggest thing was, they knew what to do with the Sanders family, and they did their thing straight out. Like they knew what to do with them. Um, and they did their thing. I personally feel like them boys gotta just. I personally feel like because I'm in an environment where this goes on every single day. The daddy ball gotta stop, bro. I think the situation personally happened because Shedeur has been coached by his dad since he was a youth, all the way up until his last season in college. Bro, it's about to be so many character tests that they never were able to see from him. They never seen this kid without his dad.
Mm-hmm.
They never seen this kid in a situation where they take the playbook away from him, and now what you gonna do? Or they never took the pacifier out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that in a way of he's a baby or anything like
Yeah.
that. But what I'm saying is his dad has always been there. I don't care if Pat Sherman is over there. He's going to me like, Dad, go tell Pat, like, man, we doing this week. Is that what you get what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
now you don't have any of that leverage. You don't
Mm-hmm.
got none of that leverage, bro. You don't have none of that. And you're not the guy coming in. We ain't never seen you work for a spot. Every spot that we think you had, it's been given to you because your dad has been coaching you.
Mm.
So y'all go listen, come to St. George. Go look at the teams. Go look at the quarterback. You don't even gotta ask who's the head coach. The
Mm-hmm.
quarterback dad.
Yep.
He want to coach his son all the way up to a certain point, not even knowing that you enabling this man. When he gets
Yeah.
other coaching, when he gets listen, some of these dads out here only been in high school, coach. Coach Ike. They only been to high school.
Yep.
So they still talking pro right 34 crossbuck. Come on, man, you get what I'm saying? So like I just feel like they really just put a stamp on like giving them like an understanding of what it's like to be up here.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not giving you they're giving you your flowers, but you slipped in here. We let you slip up in here. You are good. He was the best quarterback in college, and he went the 5th round.
Wait, so let me ask you this question then. And I'm never trying to pit nobody against. In your mind, do you think Johnny Manziel is when he was at the top, the hype of Texas A&M, you think he's a bigger draw than Shedeur Sanders right now?
No, the door is bigger than Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel knew where he was going.
Okay. So then, do you think that Shedeur should have got drafted in the 5th round? Then,
Listen, now I'm gonna give you I'm gonna just tell you straight out.
yes,
To answer the question, yes, I think he should have got drafted in the 5th round amongst all the things that I just previously said. He's been
Okay.
coached by his dad since he was a youth. He ain't never had a different coach without his dad being around. So it's easy to have a position coach, but your dad is in charge. So your dad is still telling a position coach. Your dad is watching film with the position coach, suggesting your favorite plays as a son because he spent the most time with you. So, like, we catering to you. Now we're gonna give you a situation where we're not catering to you. So I think you just got America's biggest slice of humble pie, and you need to go on and chew. Straight out. You should have went the 5th round. Now, I don't think he should have went the 5th round from play. Like, he too good, bro. He throw the listen on a video game. He throw the furthest. He almost throw the whole field on a video game. So he do it in real life. Like my personal opinion, I think he from play you shouldn't have went 5th round, bro. But from
Okay.
your character outweighs your play, and that's evident in this situation. Your character has nothing to do with arrogance. That's everybody keeps saying he arrogant. You doing this, you doing this. So what? It's white boys doing that all over the place. It's Hawaiians doing that all over the place. Every culture, it don't. We're not going to that. We not. Y'all just have never seen this many African Americans in the light like that.
Yeah.
So now it looks like he's cocky. It looked like he arrogant. It looked like he. No, that's just him. That's just style. He just mimicking his dad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I
So
mean I don't think personally from his play he should have went 5th round. I think from his character and all the things that I just named, yeah, you go 5th round. You go 5th round.
so
What's
so
your opinion? What you think? What you think about that? The trending topic. What you think?
I want to hit all different components of this. I want to apply to NFL, and this is why I want to apply to NFL. First of all, we in April. It's about to be May. Do you realize the ratings that the NFL? I've never watched the WNBA, the NBA, hockey. I never seen the draft. Never seen the draft ever in my life. Do you understand the ratings that they had? Like the NFL, they are great marketers. The NFL is making money and it's not in season. So I applaud the NFL. They know what they're doing. Prior to me getting into Shedeur, I want to touch about the NFL. This draft felt weird anyways. Guys who were projected high, some of them fell late. For instance, I'm just staying at the cornerback position. Will Johnson was considered one of the best DBs coming back for his senior year. He got drafted in the 2nd round.
Kobe Bryant
You had buddy Kobe
from
from
Kansas.
Kansas. He went undrafted. And
Undrafted.
he was a high. They was consider him number 1, number 2.
The number one off the board, DB.
So it was just like weird because you had guys who I never heard about, and it's fine. It's fine. Teams are gonna get who they want to, right? That's fine. but you got the best available not even get picked up. So it was just a weird draft. All right. It was a weird draft. So let's get to the Shedeur situation. So, do I think Shedeur was deserving to go in the 5th round? That's not my decision. They picked him up. Cleveland got him. Hey, I don't even think it was smart for Cleveland to pick him up. They got 1,000 quarterbacks in there. That's still dumb. But anyways, it is what it is.
I just
Now,
pray for him, man. I hope everybody lives.
yeah. So my thing about it is though, and I just saw a clip today of Pat Menefee, GM, who's now for the Bills when he was at Carolina. He said there was a quarterback or a prospect that we were supposed to interview. He stayed out all night and we didn't interview him. We was looking for him and they still drafted him. So this was a statement. And the statement had nothing to do with Shedeur. I don't think. I think it had to do with guys coming up after him. It was like, y'all think you gonna bring your own brand here? You think because you got money and stuff like that that we can't determine certain things? Oh, we gonna make an example of you. It has nothing to do with you. It's all the other people. Because, and I'm not saying him and Caleb are the same, but Caleb had hype too. I'm just talking about the hype. I'm not talking about how good they are. I can care less about it. I'm just talking about the hype. And Caleb kind of played in like, I want some equity. They're like, hold on now. And the only one else who had this hype is Shedeur. Because Cam Ward, he went over number 1 overall, and they probably talked about him the least. They talked about Shedeur more than anything, most of the draft, and still are. And it's very unfortunate because you have a guy who came from
0 stars.
D1 AA, 0 stars, to being the number 1 draft pick in the NFL this year. And he's not even talked about. And we're talking about Coach Prime's son and what they doing. But it just shows that they control everything at the end of the day. Now, the reason why I'm also surprised is because I also know the NFL is about making money. And that's the reason why I brought up Johnny Manziel, is because they knew Cleveland Browns, and it's ironic that he goes to Cleveland Browns because Johnny Manziel got picked up by the Cleveland Browns. They know even if we don't believe in them, we're gonna sell tickets. We're gonna put butts in the seats. And that's what they care about the most.
He had the number 1 jersey sale, bro. And he ain't got a number yet. He don't even got he's number 00, and he's top 3 jersey sales, bro.
They said it surpassed the number 1 today. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know how true it is, but it's crazy. It shows
he don't even have a number. They're buying 00 on the jersey with Sanders on the back.
So what that tell you, bro? It's crazy, man. And I want to go back to just overall in this draft, and I brought this up, but I haven't said this publicly. I think I don't understand the draft because, and Nick Saban hit on this, they are drafting potential over production. And that makes no sense because as an athlete in general, you've always been told if you produce, they're going to come get you. If you win, they're going to come get you. That's clearly not the case. It was on full display in this draft. And I'm going to go back to, I think 2 years ago now. So Stetson Bennett, he was a Georgia quarterback. He won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, 2 championships in college.
National championships.
Back to back. I don't even remember what round he got drafted by the Rams. But you had
didn't he go undrafted?
No, I think he got picked up like 6th or 7th round by the Rams. You had Anthony Richardson, and once again, I'm not talking about talent, I'm not talking about upside, I'm just talking about production. You had Anthony Richardson go 1st round to the Colts. He, up to that point, he only played, that was his first year as a starter. And you had a guy who was a 2 or 3 year starter, who been in the playoffs for 3 years, won 2 national championships in college, and he doesn't get drafted in the 1st round. But you have a guy who I don't even think they made it to in the top 5 when he was at Florida. And he
No, they
gets
didn't. But he was also 25.
that it don't his production did not speak.
In the NFL, it's about longevity at that position, right?
Production speaks more than anything rather than potential. And I'm not saying anything about who's the better player. I don't necessarily care.
Right. You just saying that, yeah.
As an athlete, there's nothing else you can do.
Right.
You telling me I'm the best person in my position out of 110 teams, and I don't go in the first round. You know how disheartening that is, bro. You know how everybody considers me the best at my position. It don't matter what position that is. And I go in the 6th or 7th round, and a person, because they can run faster, jump higher, but their productivity on the field is not up to mine, and they get drafted before me, bro. I don't know how you don't get disheartened by that. I don't know. I mean, you can say, "Oh, keep working." What else can he do? He already put the
He
work in.
got up one morning earlier than you.
Bro, it's no way.
You gonna have to take that under the chin. There's no getting around that.
It's no way, bro. It's no way. So let me ask you this, bro. How would you feel? Let's say you had those 12 interceptions in that year. That would be the most in that season. That would be the most for people's career.
That would be
And
the most in college that year.
exactly. And they're saying Aaron Simpson is the best ball hawk corner in this year's draft. And you still go undrafted. Now, it ain't like because you can go undrafted just because of the school you at, but they're talking about you. They are like, man, this guy is number one. And we're not even talking about just the mock draft. We're talking about like you are having conversations with NFL teams and stuff like that. Like, hey, we really like you. We think you are number one guy. And because they say it's not schools, but it is what it is. Let's just say they saying you a second round pick and you go undrafted, and a guy who had 0 interceptions his whole career, we ain't talking about in the season, his whole career, goes in the first round. How you feeling about that, bro?
Crushed. What are y'all looking at? Y'all, it's got to be character. It's got to be something. It's got to be something down the line. Like you don't care about the production. Obviously, you only care about, I guess, the type of person you bring into your organization.
So, and we can talk about character issues. There was a dude. I don't know. It was reported. I can't speak on a man, but he still went first round to Atlanta, and they was red flags. Now I don't know if they true or not, and I hope that the teams did their. So people gonna pick and choose what they want to do though, what they want to spend money on. So that's why I just don't understand the NFL. But at the same time, I also understand why NFL teams suck. Like everybody's average. The only ones who did good, in my opinion, was Baltimore, Kansas City, and the Eagles. Now, if you talk about the teams that's been in the hunt the last 3 years, it's those same 3 teams.
Yeah.
Same 3 teams.
Yeah. So Buffalo and Cincinnati, but it's been a little minute.
You feel me? So, bro, I'm just this draft was, like I said, bro. I never see anything like this, and we gonna see if it works out for these teams, man. Overall, they got the final say so, man. They got the final say so.
Good
Yeah,
luck to
bro.
all them guys that got drafted, though, man. I'll tell you what, though, that's an experience. Like, I wasn't even in a position to get prank called. So, God bless all them guys, bro. Like, God bless all them guys. Like, they've gotten, this is just how I look at it. Regardless of production, regardless of anything, you've gotten over your 10,000 hours, and now your clock resets. You gotten over your 10,000 hours. You put the time that you were supposed to put in for the sport that you dedicated yourself to, and now it's time to reset your clock. So that's just how I look at it when you go to the pros. You know what I'm saying? It's time to reset your clock. Everything that you was doing before, it's just time to enhance and clean up, along with learning other things. So, man, good luck to them guys that did get drafted, man. You know what I'm saying? That's an experience that I probably would never experience
Yeah.
personally for me getting my name called, but I'm definitely working on some products, man. I'm working on some products, man, so I can get some not easily broken athletes to the draft soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Shout out to my boy, Junior Dig Ganter Jr. Man, just make the transition. You know, just signed with Boise State. So shout out to him. He was at Eastern Washington prior, and
Freshman
make
of the
this.
year, huh?
You feel me? So that's a testament, bro, to work he done, and people don't realize he's still learning safety. He made the transition from linebacker to safety his after a sophomore year. And we've been working ever since. And but shout out to him, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. So
Good job, big dog. Go
yep,
Broncos.
yep. So bro, man, that's I think that we should stop it here, man. You know, it was a lot, bro. Anything else that you wanted to bring up or that's on your heart, man?
Nah, man. You know, we just want to keep inspiring y'all, man. We just really want to keep allowing you guys to get this informative information. You know what I'm saying? Giving as much as we can, give as much as we can to y'all. And for the people that do see it, you know what I'm saying? Comment, subscribe, YouTube, comment, subscribe, go, drop some topics that you want us to bring up. Drop some things. If you went to high school with us, bring up some memories. We'll talk about them on here. All type of things, man. We here to Coach Ike business is light it up fitness. So I mean light it up. So we here to light it up, and I'm not easily broken, so we won't be broken. And you know what I'm saying? So we just really just trying to inspire these kids, man. Inspire everybody who's watching, man. So if you can, man, tune in. Give us some questions, anything you guys got for us, man. And God bless you guys.
Nah, I bet, man. So this a wrap. Put a bow on it, man. Look forward to the next one, man. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all have a good night. And we throwing the flags on the coach now.
Flags on them.